Hey everybody, and welcome to Leia's Lair. In today's video, we will be going over how the Bad Batch ties back to Rogue One with the appearance of Death Troopers. The third episode of the Bad Batch, called Replacements, begins to explore further the transition from clone troopers to stormtroopers. In doing so, the episode apparently introduces a stormtrooper variant known as Death Troopers, first seen in Rogue One. When an Imperial Vice Admiral named Rampart shows up on Kamino, he brings with him 4 new recruits. Rampart calls these people our first elite squad and pitches the idea of having an army of human troopers trained by really good clones. After turning his back on the Bad Batch in episode 1, Crosshair is selected as the best person to command the new group of recruits, while Tarkin and Rampart chat about the idea of having a mixed army consisting of both clones and recruited soldiers. But the interesting twist is the way the new elite squad is dressed. These replacement volunteers believe the war is over, that there is no one left to fight. One soldier comments that the Empire is willing to put food in his belly and a roof over his head, something the Republic failed to do. As such, they can do with his body as they wish. We obviously never see these troopers in the original trilogy, since they were invented for Rogue One. Therefore, we've been left wondering how Death Troopers came into Star Wars canon. After Rogue One, we see them pop up in Star Wars Rebels and in The Mandalorian. Prior to the Bad Batch, Star Wars canon seemed to indicate that the Death Troopers were created by Palpatine himself. There's also an in-canon Star Wars comic, Darth Vader Annual Number 2, that pairs Death Troopers with Darth Vader, taking place in about 18 BBY. In theory, however, the events of the Bad Batch happen in 19 BBY, a year before Darth Vader Annual 2, meaning, in all likelihood, we are currently witnessing the birth of Death Troopers right alongside the invention of Stormtroopers. Now, the troopers in the Bad Batch are not an exact match to the Death Troopers in Rogue One. Both the uniforms and the helmets are a bit different. However, they certainly do not wear the classic white uniforms of the Stormtroopers, indicating that they are different than your average recruit. Assuming that the new troops from the Bad Batch are the first group that will eventually become Death Troopers, it could mean that Crosshair might not only be the first Death Trooper to exist, but also that he could have been present during the early days of Rogue One. Rogue One contains a prologue that happens 15 years before the events of the rest of the movie, which puts it roughly 4 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Because Bad Batch happens right after Episode 3, that also puts it about 3 to 4 years before this Rogue One prologue. Could Crosshair have stayed with his elite troopers long enough to go with Krennic to hassle Galen Erso? It all kind of depends on what happens with Crosshair throughout the rest of the Bad Batch. But even if he doesn't stick with the Empire by the end of the series, the origin of both the Death Troopers and the Stormtroopers is well underway. The Bad Batch is telling the story of Clone Force 99, but it is also concurrently explaining the birth of the Imperial Army. And there you have it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Do you think the Bad Batch just showed us the first Death Troopers? Let us know down below in the comment section. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more great videos to come. We hope to see you all again in Leia's Lair.
You are not a Jedi yet.